This past week, Nintendo announced that they plan to close both the Wii U and 3DS eShops in March 2023. Time is ticking fast. On this channel, over the next few weeks, I plan to release some comprehensive videos in both the Wii U and 3DS eShops. First, starting with today's video, I'm going to be covering every eShop game that Nintendo has published themselves on the Wii U eShop. I'm going to go over the games that have not been ported to the Switch, as well as the ones that have, as well as some third-party games that Nintendo themselves published for the Wii U. 36 games in total will be featured in today's video. I have a lot to cover today, so hang on. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and let's check out every game Nintendo has published on the Wii U. Before we dive in, I just want to give a heads up on what to expect with today's video. This is going to cover every game that Nintendo themselves have published on the Wii U eShop. It will not cover the Virtual Console and third-party games published by other companies. The Virtual Console is absolutely massive and deserves a video to itself, which I will make, as well as a video for the third-party games to look out for on the Wii U eShop at a future date. Of course, there will be videos on the 3DS eShop at a later date as well. Also, in the description box down below, you will see a full outline of what games are talked about in today's video. Okay, with all that formality out of the way, let's kick it off with the first-party games that are not on the Switch, which might be arguably the most important thing we talk about in today's video. Believe it or not, there's a lot of games that still have not made the jump to the Switch, and a lot of them are actually first-party titles. When you look at the list of games that are still locked to the Wii U and not on Switch, the first two that are going to stick out to you is The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD and The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. I, like many others, thought for sure by now these two would be ported, but sadly that is not the case. Wind Waker HD is a fantastic version of the GameCube classic in full HD glory with lots of nice tweaks. Twilight Princess HD also received some nice tweaks too, and for many, this is the preferred version to play. Both are excellent games. Wind Waker can be had on the eShop for just $20, and that is a steal of a price. Twilight Princess is more expensive at $50, and that isn't cheap, but is by far the cheapest option for Wii U owners, because the physical version of Twilight Princess is now going for $70 to $80 on average at the moment, and that is only expected to climb. Xenoblade Chronicles X is also another title that is severely missing on the Nintendo Switch. Over there, we have been lucky to receive the first and second game in the main series, as well as we will be receiving the third entry, but the spin-off title Xenoblade Chronicles X seems to be locked to the Wii U. It's a great RPG with some seriously impressive environments. If you are an RPG fan, you definitely need to get this title. Make sure to get the free DLC that were actually major updates to the game's performance. They are all free, but if you don't get them, you won't see Xenoblade Chronicles X at its maximum potential. That same goes for physical owners of this game as well. Make sure you get that free update DLC. And yes, this is $60 on the eShop. I wish it was cheaper, but it is the cheapest way to get the game legally, as physical copies are rising in price too. And of course, you can't forget about Nintendo Land, the packing game that shows off what the Wii U can do and some fun party games. This will most likely never come to another platform due to how much it uses the gamepad. If for some reason you don't already have this title, you can get this for $20 on the Wii U eShop. And Kirby has a game on the Wii U as well, and that is Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, which is the sequel to one of my favorite Nintendo DS games. This one has heavy use of the gamepad, and will most likely be locked to the Wii U forever. Kirby fans, you gotta get this one. It's $40 on the Wii U eShop. Yoshi's Woolly World isn't on the Switch, but it did get ported to the 3DS, which means yeah, it will be doomed to be lost forever over there too. It did receive a sequel of sorts on the Switch, but this one is going to be lost forever if you do not pick it up. It's a fun Yoshi game, but it's not the most memorable one for me. If you do want it, you need to spend $30 on the Wii U eShop. Star Fox's Last Adventures were only on the Wii U. I mean, if you don't count Starlink on the Switch. Star Fox Zero has its fans and its haters, and the same goes for the smaller title Star Fox Guard. As for myself, I didn't mind the games. I thought Star Fox Guard was actually probably the better of the two. I still feel they're worth checking out if you're a Star Fox fan and you haven't played them before. But anyway, I don't think these will ever come to the Switch or any other platform. I think they're going to be locked to the Wii U, especially for Star Fox Guard. There was also some neat demos for both of these games, with some neat exclusive content, so make sure to download those too. If you own Star Fox Zero digitally, you will get a discount off of Star Fox Guard on the eShop. Game & Wario is sort of a smaller WarioWare title for the Wii U that makes heavy use of the gamepad. It's neat, but it's nowhere near as deep as the other WarioWare games, so don't expect too much. It was originally a value-priced game, and this one is so expensive to own physically now that digital is honestly your safest bet at just $30 on the eShop. NES Remix Pack is on the Wii U eShop as NES Remix 1 and 2. They are separate downloads for $9.99 each. What's really neat about these games is they use classic NES games to create challenges. In some cases, you encounter things you wouldn't normally see in those NES games. There's a neat perk too if you get both packs, which honestly you should, as these both are great on the Wii U. And finally for this section, we have some of the Wii series of games. Wii Party U and Wii Fit U. Wii Party U is the sequel to Wii Party, and this one makes heavy use of the Wii U gamepad in its mini-games. And then there is Wii Fit U, which is the sequel to Wii Fit, and this one also makes some use of the Wii U gamepad. I honestly think Wii Party U is pricey at $40 digital. Physically for the game itself, I think you can get it for much cheaper. And the same goes for Wii Fit U at $30. I think you can get that one for much cheaper as well. That's some of the major first-party games on the Wii U that are not on the Switch. But wait, there's more. In some cases, games did not receive ports, but got proper sequels on the Switch instead. One example of this is a game I already talked about in this video, being Yoshi's Crafted World, and that was a sequel to Yoshi's Woolly World. These following games on the Wii U eShop are worth checking out if you're fans of the series, or curious to check out the prior entries to ones you played on the Switch. Super Smash Bros. For Wii U was notable as being the first entry that brought the concept of DLC to the franchise. We got to see some third-party characters like Cloud fight with and against our favorite Nintendo characters. It's also notable for having another platform counterpart in the 3DS entry. If I'm being honest, I feel like Ultimate has really blown this entry away, but I'm sure that some Smash fans would want to own this one before it goes away forever on the Wii U eShop. It's $60, and note you'll need the DLC too if you want the full experience. Splatoon is one of my favorite Wii U games, and for many Wii U owners, it is probably their favorite game as well. One of the highlights of the Wii U was that it kicked off a brand new franchise with awesome multiplayer gameplay. This one you might want to really check out on getting it physical, as it can be had for around $10 used on average. The Wii U eShop has it for $60. Ouch. Mario Party 10 wasn't bad in my opinion, but the latest entry on the Switch, and I'm talking about Superstars, is the best the series has been in a long time. Regardless, I, like many others, like having the older entries in the series, and if you're a Mario Party fan as well, getting Mario Party 10 for $30 on the eShop isn't a bad deal. Paper Mario Color Splash might be worth checking out too, though some people really just do not like this entry. They don't like any other entry other than the first one and the second one, but regardless, this is the Wii U's entry in the Paper Mario series, as well as Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. They both received sequels on the Switch, and many will argue that those entries are better, but again, for fans that are curious, these entries are on the Wii U eShop. Also, FYI, physical is cheaper for both of these titles, at least for the moment. Finally, we will have Wii Sports Club, which we will be receiving a sequel on the Switch in the next few months. This entry is a weird one on the eShop. It's a free download, but each of its games are available as a $10 add-on. If you want it proper, it'll cost you $40 in total. Up to this point, just about every Nintendo published title I've talked about has had a physical version released for the Wii U, in addition to its eShop counterpart. These following games, at least for this section, are ones that are digital only. They never received a physical release at all, at least here in North America. If Viewers of this channel might remember the Mario vs. Donkey Kong series. On the Wii U, there were 2 entries in the series. Mini Mario and Friends Amiibo Challenge is absolutely free. It makes use of the amiibo you probably already own in your collection. If you have the amiibo, or plan to have the amiibo, then there's no reason why you shouldn't download this. Mario vs. Donkey Kong Tipping Stars is another entry in the series, and it's also in the 3DS. And unlike the other game, this one does actually cost money. $19.99 to be exact. They are both fun platformer puzzle games, but they're not too in-depth. They are good for a few afternoons of gameplay. Pokémon Rumble U is an action RPG where you control toy-like versions of Pokémon to battle against other toy Pokémon. It's actually the sequel to 2011's 3DS game Pokémon Rumble Blast. I'm going to be pretty honest here, there's not much to this game, it's pretty simplistic. This one makes use of NFC toys that were heavily released in Japan, but those toys barely got pushed out to other regions. Again, it's not the most complex game on the eShop, it really isn't all that interesting, but if you're a Pokemon fan, then you'll probably check this one out anyway. It's $17.99 on the eShop. Can you believe we have not received a new entry in the Dr. Mario series on the Switch? Wii U got one with Dr. Luigi. This game came out during the whole year of Luigi thing. Regardless, it's a really fun Dr. Mario game, and for 15 bucks, it's probably a must-buy if you like puzzle games. Pushmo World, the sequel to Stretchmo and Crashmo, is another puzzle game that might be a must-get. It's super fun tackling these levels, but also making your own. It's just $10 on the eShop. I'm currently not aware if you're able to still share levels for this title, but even if you're not, this still is a good game to get. And finally, the Art Academy series received an entry on the Wii U with Art Academy Home Studio. This game, or rather application, will actually attempt to teach you how to draw, color, and create art with techniques. This actually makes me sad that Miiverse went away so early when it did. I remember seeing a lot of interesting art from there from Art Academy. Anyway, Art Academy Home Studio is $30 on the eShop if you want to get it. Just as they done with the Nintendo Switch, Nintendo did publish some third-party titles here in North America for the Wii U. Only one game and another being an app haven't yet made the jump to the Switch, and I doubt they ever will. Devil's Third, without question, is the worst game Nintendo has ever published. Unbelievable, horrible gameplay and execution to the point I'm just shocked it's still available for purchase on the Wii U Eshop. I thought for sure they would take it down. Well, I guess they are actually finally going to do that. But anyway, if for some reason you want to get this, you can get it for a good price, quote unquote, on the eShop for 30 bucks. The physical for this is actually the most expensive regular release for the system here in North America. If you want to find a used copy, expect to pay at least a couple $100. Yep, the game collecting scene is just weird. Wii U Panorama View is an app that allows you to view some locations on your Wii U gamepad by moving around. The initial download is free, but additional locations will cost you $2 a pop. Beyond those two, there's some additional third-party games that Nintendo published on the Wii U. Games like Ninja Gaiden 3, The Wonderful 101, and Fatal Frame Maiden of Black Water. Though arguably the Ninja Gaiden 3 port on the Switch may not be the way to go. Wonderful 101 is okay on the Switch, but in my opinion, I think the Wii U version just feels a little bit better, and it may just be the optimal version. Out of all of these, I'm glad Fatal Frame Maiden of Black Water got another chance at life on the Switch as well as other consoles. Even still, the Wii U version might be the best version, thanks to its ingenious use of the Wii U gamepad. You can tell it was really built for the Wii U. And that experience just cannot be replicated on the other consoles. If you do desire picking it up on the Wii U, the first part is free, while the full game unlock is 50 bucks. Alright, hopefully you've stayed with me. We're finally nearing the end. These are the last few Nintendo published games on the Wii U Eshop. These following games are all first-party titles that you can currently get on the Nintendo Switch. The reason why I left these for last, because honestly, with so many titles mentioned today, and the ones that will be mentioned in future videos, it's really hard to recommend these, since you'll have a way to play them on another console. You should probably look at other titles first before you look at these ones on the Wii U. And in almost every case, the Switch version is honestly the better version. Except maybe for two. there's 2 games on the Switch that you may want to take a look at the Wii U version. The first one being Pikmin 3, which received a deluxe port on the Switch. Now the deluxe version does have all the DLC and some extra content, but the thing that separates the 2 titles here is control, and being able to use that Wii U gamepad makes Pikmin 3 a joy to play and control on the Wii U. Now don't get me wrong, the Switch port is great, but it'll never replicate how great it was to play on the Wii U. There's still many that say the Wii U is the superior version because of that. If you're a hardcore Pikmin fan, you may want to get the Wii U version, and it's only $20. Because of the Wii U gamepad, the same kind of goes with Toad's Treasure Tracker. Controlling Toad and being able to use that touchscreen really makes this game shine. Again, the Switch port is good, but it just will never replicate the true experience. There's also some levels based on 3D World that are exclusive to this version. Games like Tokyo Mirage Sessions, Pokémon Tournament, New Super Mario Bros. U, and New Super Luigi Bros. U, Hyrule Warriors, Mario Kart 8, and Super Mario 3D World have all received ports or upgraded versions on the Nintendo Switch. And all of these titles except for Super Mario 3D World are on the eShop for $60, and that honestly makes them a really hard buy at that price. The physical versions are cheaper in most cases, and unless for some reason you don't own a Switch, the Switch version is the better get. Super Mario 3D World is the only exception, being just $20 on the Wii U eShop, and that is a great price. But the additions and Bowser's Fury is something to consider on the Switch before picking up this version. Okay, we are finally at the end. That's all 36 Nintendo published games currently available on the Wii U eShop in North America, at least until it closes. There's definitely some games to look out for sure if you've never considered picking them up before. Now, eagle-eyed viewers might have noticed a few games missing, like Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze and Bayonetta 2. Unfortunately, Nintendo delisted those titles on the eShop a while back, so the only way to get those on the Wii U is through obtaining the physical version. Luckily, both games mentioned got ports to the Switch system. Just like I mentioned near the beginning of this video, this is just the first of a series of videos I'll be posting on the channel for the Wii U and the 3DS. Arguably, Nintendo published games are a huge part of the Wii U's small library, but I'll be discussing the very important Virtual Console, as well as some third-party games on the Wii U eShop at a future date. I really wish we had more time with this. It's unrealistic to obtain everything here if you haven't been keeping up with the Wii U's libraries. Unfortunately, for a lot of Wii U and 3DS users, you're going to have to most likely pick and choose what to get and what not to get. Hopefully this video and future videos help you in deciding on what to obtain. If you found the video useful, please give it a thumbs up. It lets me know that you appreciate it. And of course, if you're not yet a subscriber and you like Nintendo stuff, then you definitely should become one. I post new videos each and every week on this channel. I also want to put out a huge thank you to my Patreon members. Through your support, I'm able to check out games for the channel, and every little bit is appreciated. If you would like to additionally support this channel, please check out the Patreon. It helps me out so much. But that is all for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time. Thank you.